Pooh Bear, this one for you, big boy. Pooh Bear, this one's for you. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. A tip of the cap, Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. If you watched Early Edge Live last night with M Squared and the Maestro, we cashed a ton of tickets. We lost a few as well, but what an incredible game. Kansas making history. Biggest comeback in the history of the national championship game. Down 16 in the first half, but we come back. The over did not hit, unfortunately, but KU on the money line, if you did what we told you, you cashed with us. Now, a little more housekeeping. Congratulations to Pamela DeSerbo winning our Early Edge Bracket Challenge, and those are top 25 finishers. Don't even worry about it. Dial up, AB. He's going to reach out to you on social media and give you all of the deets on how you can win. Now, for many shows, this would be the off season. For many shows, this would be where we say, hey, we'll see you in September. Oh, no. We are 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So who did I decide to bring in this morning? Oh, look at these faces right here. Oh, yeah, baby. First and foremost, live from Las Vegas, he is Zach Attack. Zach, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. First off, I have to apologize to Chip Patterson. He gave out that play on the show, gave me a little shout out, Early Edge shout out, and of course, DeJuan Harris, he wasn't even trying to shoot the basketball, missed the layup, but he was there for defense yesterday, did his job okay. And then how about we did hit a few other props on the live show and then North Carolina on the site. So happy about that. But how about Bill Self? Just the one adjustment. He wasn't playing Remy Martin. DeJuan Harris Jr., he got them back with defense. And then in the final 7 minutes, he brings in Remy Martin. He drills 3 3-pointers, 2 corner threes, top of the key 3-pointer with a shot clock winding down. In defense, you never say defense with Remy Martin, but he trailed Caleb Love Jr., got the blocked shot, which really shocked me.
Yeah.
So he was ready to play. That's the way you go out as a senior. And then North Carolina, they just ran out of steam. Maybe not even ran out of steam. It looked like the injuries were catching up to them. Brady Manick, you saw him doing the double squint towards the end of the game. Caleb Love Jr. to the foot injury. And then, of course, Baycott, we all saw what happened there. So you feel bad for North Carolina and Hubert Davis, but Kansas, heck of a job with that comeback.
That was a great recap, by the way, for us, too. Wait a second. The only time that I'm going to allow my flow to be ruined is when all of the sudden, apparently AB on the ones and the twos, look who we have. Mikey Barner, I apologize. Your introduction was just ruined, but I'm sure everybody in the chat, they've been screaming for buckets, guru. Well, that's exactly what we've done. So, ladies and gentlemen, off season for others, we just bring in the heavy hitters. Our bench is deep. Buckets, welcome back to the Early Edge.
Thank you, Coach. I am glad to be here. We took ourselves a 2-little-week international break that to me felt closer to 2 years, but we are finally back with some Champions League action, and I could not be more excited to be here again.
If I have to get one more tweet about get buckets off the bench, I can't take it. My head's going to explode. They all want you, but they also not only want the mentee, they want the mentor. And he is live from just south of London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin W. Green. Martin, good afternoon, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning to all the viewers out there. It's wonderful to be back on the show. Definitely not the off-season for us. We call this the business end of the soccer season. All big games coming up for the next month. We've got some huge clashes featuring the likes of Man City and Liverpool. So very exciting times. I actually enjoyed the international break, 2 weeks, but SportsLine had me writing games about the USA, Canada, Costa Rica, and we made a ton of profit. So let's hope we can keep it going now that the real action resumes.
Yeah, you're going to have to put buckets on mute because he didn't text you for 2 weeks. And now you're right back in it. He's going to be bothering you. You know, that's the way it goes. Now, back to my flow. We call this the business end of the NBA season too, Martin, because we're getting ready for the playoffs. So Mike Barner, Mikey B, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank goodness basketball is back. I spent 6 hours doing yard work yesterday afternoon with no games. It's awful. It's back. Woo!
My only question is, do you do the yard work with the headphones on or without? I feel like you go to bed with those on too. That's how you look to me. That's how you
Not
look.
with that. I gotta have the hat on while I'm outside, but no headphones.
I understand. All right, let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And when Buckets and the Guru are back, that means big-time games. We're talking the Champions League. You talk about the business end. There's big-time dollars at stake on who moves forward. So let me look, because I was not aware that I was going to have these two incredible men on the show today. So Liverpool has been a team that we have been riding the entire season, and they're back in action today. So if you don't mind, no. Martin, I want to start with you. I want to start with Man City today. Can we do that? Can we start with Man City today? Because I want to lead the charge. So, Martin, what do you got for us there, sir?
Certainly, Coach. Well, yeah, as I mentioned, we're at the end of the season where it's only big games now, and Premier League heavyweights Man City and Liverpool are arguably the best two teams in the world right now. They're locked in a fierce battle for silverware this season. Liverpool, who you just mentioned, we have been riding them all season, much to our delight, and they're now just 1 point behind Man City at the top of the table after winning their last 10 games in a row. Jurgen Klopp's men have already won the EFL Cup this season, and they're now bidding for an historic quadruple. However, as you said, Man City stand in their way. Liverpool play Man City twice in the next 10 days. They're playing at the weekend in a Premier League clash. Whoever wins that is going to be the heavy favourite to win the title. Then they play the following weekend in the FA Cup semi-finals. They're also on course to meet in the Champions League final after they land on opposite ends of the bracket. Liverpool should destroy Benfica, while Man City look too slick for Atletico Madrid to handle. They could be facing European heavyweights like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Chelsea in the next round. But I think it's going to be difficult for anyone to stop a Man City versus Liverpool Champions League final right now. You've got Man City are the +200 favourites to be crowned champions of Europe, and Liverpool are the +225 second favourites. Backing both of those teams in the futures market looks like an appealing prospect to me right now. And I'm looking forward to breaking down those games with you later.
Let's do it. Our man Chad in the chat said Martin could pull off soccer or F1 commentary. I can see you doing that, Martin. Oh, Lewis Hamilton coming up. Verstappen! Oh. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. All right, Buckets, I apologize that I made you wait this long to give out your storyline, but the time has arrived. We just hear about the dominance of Man City. But on the other side, we have the Liverpool squad, as Martin just said. What do you have for us there?
Absolutely, Coach. As Martin mentioned, both of these hard-hitting EPL teams are going through a pretty brutal month in April, though. Liverpool has to go to Portugal to play Benfica this afternoon. 5 days later, they have to travel to Etihad to play Man City. 3 days later, they have to play Benfica in the second matchup. And then 5 days later, again, Man City once again in the FA semifinals. So 4 pretty brutal matches all within the span of about 14 days. We're going to have to see how Klopp wants to handle this. They do have a very deep bench, but it's probably going to see some of their starters sitting and resting up for what might be the more important matches. So I would like to encourage everyone to keep a very close eye on the lineups and lines moving forward. Teams do not have to announce their starting lineup until an hour before match start, and we could see some pretty heavy line movement in Liverpool's upcoming games based on who Klopp decides to rest and who he decides to play. So just keep an eye out.
Yeah, that's why I tell people all the time, follow my guys, Martin and Buckets, because they're always incredibly active on social media, especially when it comes to who's starting and what that bet is going to look like right up to start time. All right, thank you very much.
Coach, can I just say we're both veering towards 10,000 followers on Twitter. So if you could try to promote it a bit and encourage us to hit that mark, we can maybe we give people some t-shirts and stuff.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Look at this. Everybody's weighing in with ideas today. We say it's always a team. So here's what we're going to do. If we can get Martin W. Green and Buckets to 10,000, I don't even know how close you guys are. If we get to 10,000 followers for both, the next day on the show, I will give out a $100 Paramount Plus gift card to a very lucky person who hits the like button and also leaves their Twitter handle in the chat. But we've got to get our boys to 10,000 followers first. All right, I am quite sure that Zach Attack and Mikey B feel like soccer just overtook the show in the last 5 minutes. That is certainly not the case. Mikey B, NBA, talk to me.
Nah, that's no problem. Basketball is always supreme in my house. And I'm going a little off the table today with my storyline. Talk about some same game player prop parlays. If you've been following Max on Twitter, he's been doing those crazy points and three-pointer parlays. I take a little bit more of a conservative route. I like to combine 3 or 4 conservative props to get the odds from between plus 100 and plus 200. I've had a lot of success with that lately. I did 5 of them on Sunday, and I hit 4 of them. I like to target some of the bad teams because they've got short rotations. That actually helps. So I'll have one for us later in the show, just a little preview, something to keep an eye out for.
Look at you. Look at you. A lot of people I know have been kind of scratching their heads when they see that 9 and 80, but plus a bunch of units from Mad Max. It's a little crazy, but we just give you the information, and you use it for what you will, whether it's conservative like Mikey B or a little more extravagant like Mad Max. Now, we know that Johnny Bowman has been all over college baseball so far this year, and now there are several books in the United States where you can actually bet on baseball. So, Zach Attack, you live in a city that has a team that is very much under the radar, but for how much longer?
Yeah, for all the years I've lived in Las Vegas, I've never tracked UNLV. It was just pure coincidence last Tuesday that they happened to be playing in a neutral site game against the college I went to in ASU, so I went to it. But there's a thing, like just like stock market, once you fall in love with something that's making money, you're going to keep tracking that, and that's what I've done with UNLV. I talked about how well they've been doing with their overs, and last Tuesday went way over 11-10 game against ASU, 14.5 run total. And then 2 days ago, Monday, get this, 27 runs they scored themselves against New Mexico, 27-6 final, 33 runs. I've been looking this morning. They're playing UC Riverside, 2 o'clock start time Pacific time here in Las Vegas, so 5 o'clock Eastern time. They have not released this game yet. Last week, this was up before the show even started, 6 o'clock in the morning Las Vegas time. For some reason, this game is off the board still, so there's going to be a small window when this game does release, at least here in Las Vegas. I haven't checked the other national feeds just yet, but not available yet. Can you believe that, Coach?
I can't believe it at all, but turn on those notifications so when stuff like this happens, you can try to find the information closer to start time. I can't believe that. It's absolutely crazy. Now, those are our storylines, but we're worried about our board today. And this is the first day of what I like to call our second season or our off season, whatever you want to call it. We have not missed a day since we started this show December 7th, 2020. We say it all the time. We're the only show in America that goes 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So we don't just stop. We reload. So here's a play from SportsLine. If you're not a member, if you're not a part of what we're doing, what in the world are you doing? It's literally the best value in all of sports betting. It's $10 a month. You're going to spend that more on that at Starbucks this morning. But today I'm going to give you one free play from the site. We're going to go Hornets Heat over 225.5 in our simulations. This hit 64% of the time. The Miami Heat, they've been playing at a much faster pace. The over just hit as they played Toronto. We believe that playing the Hornets, who have zero defense, this number, this should be 240. Easy cash early on tonight. All right, now let's get to my cappers because you all know how important where you are in the show is. So to start us off, I got to go to somebody that I can trust, that I can count on, that's been there since day one. So Martin W. Green. If you don't mind, sir.
Coach, excuse me. I hate to be that guy. And I love and respect the guru. I know he's the mentor, I'm the mentee, but I'm just going to butt in here and say I believe that I have the better picks today. And so I think that I not only should have the first spot, I deserve the first spot to present today.
What?
Just throwing it out there. Do what you want with that.
All right. So now, not only are you a talent on the show, but I guess you're going to produce the show as well. So everything I had.
Hold on, Coach. Did you just say producing the show? Because I would love to see Buckets go first.
What just happened here?
So as we were saying, going into the first picks of the day, we are going to jump on this Benfica versus Liverpool matchup. We are taking my favorite bet, hands down, all the time. We are taking both teams to score. Liverpool should have no problem scoring, no matter if they're the home team or the away team. They are the more dominant attacking team. With that being said, as we mentioned earlier, Liverpool has such a brutal month ahead of them. I think they're going to be a little scatterbrained moving forward on this. Benfica has 70 goals over 32 games, and they should have no problem knocking one back in against Liverpool this afternoon. And then our second pick this afternoon is going to be going to a smaller league that I love to do, and that is Italy's Serie B. We are going to be taking Ternana versus Lecce, both teams to score once more. It is two of the highest scoring teams in all of Italy's Serie B, and both of them are in fantastic form moving forward. So I'm expecting to see both teams to score, and probably the over hit on that one as well. Thanks, guys.
Are you done?
I'm done.
So the chat. Coach looks broken. I can't believe the disrespect to Martin W. Green. I love when they do this to the coach. I love when they mess with him. Coach lost control, and he's now the assistant coach. See what you did there? I worked long and hard to get my reputation. And in a matter of 30 seconds, you just take it and stomp it on the floor. All of a sudden, now, look, the newest one. Oh, this is AB and Bucket show. That's what they this time, too. Martin, you know there's very few people on planet Earth that I have more respect for than you. And on behalf of the entire Early Edge universe, on behalf of the entire SportsLine universe, I would like to apologize for the incredible ego that Bucket's playing this morning on the show. So I'm turning off his mic so he cannot interrupt anymore. And Martin W. Green, could you please go next, sir?
Are you sure that's okay? Is that okay, Buckets? Yeah, okay. We've silenced Buckets for a minute. Okay, thank you very
He
much.
turned off his mic.
Okay, so I'm going to go. I've got the same pick on both games. I have got Liverpool minus 1.25 Asian handicap against Benfica. I just think this looks like a terrible matchup for Benfica. They typically play with Jan Vertonghen and Nicola Otamendi in defence. They're both 34 years old and well past their physical prime. Man City let Otamendi leave 2 years ago as he could no longer cope with the physical rigours of the Premier League. And that's why Vertonghen left Tottenham for the same reason. They're now coming up against the quickest and most lethal forwards in the business. Salah, Mane, Jota, Firmino, Diaz. I just think they should annihilate Benfica's ageing defence. Liverpool beat Porto 5-1 in Portugal earlier this season, and Man City beat Sporting Lisbon 5-0 in the Portuguese capital in the last round. I think this could be a similarly ugly result for Benfica if they're not careful. So I'm giving them a minus 1.25 handicap. I've got the same bet for Man City against Atletico Madrid. They face a far sterner challenge against the tough, obdurate, organised and disciplined Atletico Madrid team. Diego Simeone's men are on a 6-game winning streak right now. They struggled earlier this season. They were trying to play more expansive, attractive football, but they've reverted to their usual defensive approach. It's been effective so far. They're going to be full of confidence after beating Man United in the previous round. However, Man City are vastly superior to Man United. It's also worth noting that Liverpool beat Atletico home and away earlier in the competition, and Chelsea beat them home and away last season as well. I'd say Man City are just as good as Liverpool right now. They should win this match. They'll need to be patient, but they should have enough craft and guile to crack this defence, and they should be patient, but I think they'll secure victory. So minus 1.25 for both teams. That means I get a full win if they win by 2 clear goals and a half loss if they win by a single goal. Thank you for letting me get through that. Thank you very much, Buckets. I appreciate you giving me that time to speak. Thank you.
Quote, I've never seen the guru mad. Robert Evans in the chat. Another chat person, fan, member of the community says, I haven't seen the coach this mad since The Rock told him it doesn't matter what his name is. See what you've opened up this morning, Buckets? See everything. You think it's just funny. And then somebody also said, what a great comedy show. We don't wake up in the morning to try to make you laugh. This is serious business. See what you've done, Buckets? Look at Freddie Bear. Look at Freddie Bear. With a name like that, how can we joke around? All right. Now, let's get back on track here. So I told you a few minutes ago that with M squared, now college basketball coming to an end, the same game parlays that all of you love at home so much, you might think that those stop till football. You would be mistaken. Mikey B, the floor is yours.
All right. First of all, I want no part of this uprising against the coach. I don't want to be put through a table or some elbow or something. I want none of this. So back to the picks in the time that I'm told to make them. First, I'll go with a more conservative game pick. I'm going with the Grizzlies and the Jazz. I'm going to do Grizzlies plus 5.5. Grizzlies are on an insane heater right now. They've won 7 straight. They're 6-1 against the spread during that stretch. They rested just about everybody in their last game against the Suns, and they still won by 8 points. It's kind of crazy. The Jazz are on the opposite end of the spectrum. They've lost 6 of their last 7, 0-7 against the spread during that stretch. Grizzlies are supposed to have some more of their key players back in this game. So I think they could keep it close. I wouldn't even be surprised if they won. But again, for my official pick, I'll do Grizzlies plus 5.5. And now on to my crazy parlay of the day. Not as crazy as Max's, but it is plus odds. I will say this slowly for all of those who may be just listening on the audio version. We got the Nets and the Rockets game. We're going to do Kevin Durant at least 25 points scored, Kyrie Irving at least 20 points scored, and then for Jalen Green at least 20 points scored, and at least 3 made 3-pointers. On FanDuel, that gets you plus 150 odds. The Rockets have the second worst defensive rating and play at the second fastest pace in the league, which is great for Irving and Durant. Durant has scored at least 25 points in 9 of his last 11 games. Irving at least 20 points in 7 of his last 9 games. Goran Dragic is out for the Nets. There's talk that Seth Curry might be shut down for the rest of the regular season, so he might not play this game, both of which are good for Durant and Irving. On the Jalen Green side, the Rockets have gone into tank mode. They've rested some of their veterans, and he's dominated. He's hit at least 3 3-pointers and scored at least 20 points in 6 straight games. So again, we're not plus 1,000, plus 2,000 odds there, but at plus 150, those are 4 conservative props that should all hit.
All right. I like them a lot, too. By the way, that leads right into my play of the day, and we're still trying to really nail down what my everyday play is going to be. But we're going to go Mikey B in the same game as you, sir. We're going to go Rockets Nets under 244.5. And this is an homage to our man Prop Stars, who taught us during the regular season that in order for a total of this to go over, so many things have to go right. But for it to go under, far less has to go right. One bad quarter, and this one comes in on the under. So we'll take that chance. We'll go under 244.5. And I know I hate unders. But the way this show is going today, I'm doing everything opposite. Quote, life isn't complete without buckets. Then Buckets 999 says, I miss buckets. So you're actually commenting about yourself in the chat. What the hell is going on? He's in the chat as he's on the show, and he says, I miss myself. All right. Buckets 999. Achievement Christmas. All right. Zach, the one thing that I can always count on, no matter what happens in the show prior to this spot, is that if the maestro's not here, I've always got somebody that I can count on to bring the train into the station. You're that guy today. What do you got?
All right. Well, this show's been cracking me up the whole episode, but we're going to go to the NBA. Atlanta Hawks +4 against the Toronto Raptors. It's no secret in the NBA. These teams know when to turn that on switch on when it gets towards postseason time. The Atlanta Hawks have done just that. They've won 5 games in a row. It's exactly what we saw last year when they finished the year winning 7 of 8. Trae Young's been lighting up opponents. He's averaging 36 points over his last 3 games. And you look at this Toronto Raptors team, I just did not like what I saw on Sunday against the Miami Heat at home. They were up 10. Miami was in a back-to-back situation, and they just laid an egg defensively in the second half. Miami just was making baskets after basket, ended up killing them to win that game. In Toronto, they actually struggled against this Atlanta Hawks team. You go dig into them this year. They gave up the second highest points to this Hawks team this year in a non-overtime game when they lost 127-100 to Atlanta in February. So I will take the points here. This is a situation where we could see, just like in the title game yesterday, where the Raptors actually win. on the money line, but I think this is a tight game where the Hawks cover. They might have their win streak end, but they're going to cover at +4.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that need to get their season really going and get playing well heading into the playoffs. I love this spot. All right. Lenny says, I love all the merch. Apparently me, Buckets, Zach Attack, all wearing early edge gear today. I mean, makes sense. You've been here for 2 minutes. You got all the gear sent to you. Chad says you can't spell early edge without buckets. What the hell is going on today? And Tony says, and now Coach is on an under. What the hell is going on today? I don't know. Steven says, don't mess with my man, Coach. Then Michael says, and I think this is a good one to end on, what just happened? We're not quite sure, Michael. All I know is that we did get to the finish line. And with AB on the ones and the twos, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here when I say, grab your paper. Oh, yes! Grab your pencils. Here is the recap. And it looks absolutely glorious. Zach Attack. He's on the Hawks +4 today. Then Martin W. Green, the guru. He's on Liverpool Asian handicap line. Man City, same, -135. Now, buckets. 2 big plays today. One in the Champions League, one not. Benfica, Liverpool, both teams to score. And I believe he said he thinks the over could come in as well. And then buckets. What's this other league? What's this other league?
This is Italy Serie B, and it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you very much. Serie B, 1 p.m. Eastern, so just a couple hours from right now. Then Mikey B, getting crazy for him. We're going to go Grizzlies +5.5. Then a little same-game parlay +150. Let's go Durant over 25. Irving over 20. Jalen Green over 20. And then Jalen Green at least 3 threes. And if you want to get crazier, I'm quite sure that our man Mad Max in the Thunderdome will have one on Twitter today as well. Then myself, my one play of the day, Rockets Nets under 244.5. All kinds of things have to go right for this to go over. Somebody in the chat said, hey, if Coach is going on the under, we're going to bet the over. Book it. I can't argue with that right now. Haven't been great with his NBA plays lately. Can't argue with that. And then one play from SportsLine. We're going to go Hornets Heat over 225.5. If you haven't been paying attention, the Heat are playing at a much faster pace now. And I think that's a conscious effort. The books have not caught up with that, and they've been sailing to the over almost every single game. We love it again today. Then the AB3 +165. We're going straight money line. Cavs, Thunder, Pelicans. It'll give us a nice little return of +165. All right. That is literally all the damage we can do. Do not forget, coming up in 30 minutes from right now, the biggest story in sports, Tiger Woods is going to meet with the media. We will be live today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Myself, Rick, Kyle, everybody on the first cut as we discuss Tiger Woods. Will he play in the Masters? Will he tee it up on Thursday? That will affect the bets, and we're here for it. And I guarantee you on this show, we will have some picks as well. It's Masters week, and I'm here for it. I hope you all enjoyed the show today because I certainly did, and there's only one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Mikey B, Zach Attack, and my soccer boys, the Guru, and, of course, apparently your favorite, Buckets. And don't forget about AB on the ones and the twos, always getting it done for us from start to finish. I'm the coach. Tell all your friends if you want to have fun, you want to be included, you want to feel like you're a part of something. It's right here. Early Edge. Good luck.